Hello, my people. Welcome back to Tanisha Trading Group. I hope everyone's having a lovely day. So today was not bad at all. Depending if you saw your setup and you traded your setup, you would have been alright today. So let's just dig in and see the potential trades that you could have taken today. So before 3 p.m. UK time, London, New York, that would have been 10. Before 10 a.m., there was actually a setup where this would have been your 1, this would have been your 2, this would have been your 3, 4, 5, where price respected the SMA from this zone over here, and then price shot up. But I feel like the better setup did come after 3 p.m. UK time, which is 10 a.m. New York time. So we'll dive into that. So obviously we had our market structure break over here, and obviously within this market structure break, where is my area of interest? So we do have this last down up movement, so technically this is one of my main areas of interest. And I mean, this is almost like a fractal. It's quite hard to see, but here's a hidden area of supply and demand. So the minute I go down to my lower time frame, you can see here that this is my last down up movement as well. So there's always a chance that price might come back, tap into this area here, and then continue to make higher highs and higher lows. Again, I don't make the rules, but you know, there's always a possibility that this is going to happen. So in terms of SBS, let's see what happens. Okay, so my bad, sped way too much. So in terms of SBS, sorry, this would have been my 1, this would have been my 2 from this sweep, this one here, 2, 3, 4, 5. And obviously, because I understood that we had a 5 minute of area of interest, there's always a chance that price might come back and mitigate this. So it's not definite that price is going to react from this hidden fractal and start making its way higher. So I looked for a additional confirmation which would have helped me potentially get in this trade. So first and foremost, I drew my trend line just to see how we would react of this, to see if we could have a potential break and retest. I also drew out my fib just to see where we are in price. So I already know that price hasn't mitigated the 50%, so there's always a chance that price might come back to mitigate 50% and continue to make higher highs and higher lows. I also understand that price doesn't have to mitigate the 50%, and if price is really bullish or bearish, there's also a possibility that price will just keep making higher highs and higher lows. I mean, if I did draw it from this low to high, we just about mitigate the 50%, but still the 618 has not been tagged in, which is completely fine, because sometimes you are not going to get deeper retracements. However, you know, to be safe, it's always better to at least, you know, target price at a discount rather than trying to get in when price is way too expensive. So I just wanted extra confirmation just to confirm that price actually wanted to head up, because I understood that we had things right beneath us that price may want to tap into and then make its way back above. So we had, if I'm correct, we had, yeah, so if I'm correct, we had, double check, yeah, so we had this area. So we had this area here where potentially price may want to tap into and then start making its way back right above. I mean, you could say that this is my last down candle, and obviously we've clearly closed above it. We've come back to retrace it, So you could have had an entry confirmation from this CSS, potentially stop below here, and then targeting whatever you're targeting, 2R, and if you let price play out, that's what you get. And then that could have potentially been you done for the day. And then it looks like price came back down. It looks like price came back down to, you know, mitigate potentially something further. So now this 1, 2, this almost becomes the new 2, where price sweeps this low here. This becomes the 4. This becomes the 5. So now we've gone from having that, making that quick scalp up, because remember we saw the setup, we traded the setup, we had our CSS. There wasn't quite anything else that would have helped us get in this trade. However, price has come back to run this low because this was a weak high. This low failed to take out this high, making this a weak low, and then price came back to run it. And potentially now is either we come back to this zone here and then continue to make higher highs and higher lows, or we might just start pushing back right above now that we are hovering against the 200 SMA. So okay, let me just speed things up. Okay, cool. So so now this is my 5, and technically we've had an internal flip. You can't really see it because I don't have the second charts from TradingView, but this is an internal flip. So now if I'm potentially looking for SBS, this could be my 1, this could also be my 2, this could be my 3, 4, 5, and if you let price play out, okay, so this is now my 1, that's my 3, this is my 2, and then now you would have entered, depending, either on the 618 or you would have entered from this last down up candle where price retraced, but they are technically the same, so we'll just use a 618. You could target a 2R, and then so 4 and then 5 over here, and then when we let price play out, obviously pass with flying colors. Let's say you wanted to, you know, so let's say you wanted some more RRs. You obviously have these extensions that price might want to come back to, tap into, and then thingy. But this is the current market, this is what price shows. But technically this was an A-star setup, because if I break it down to you, based off my 5-minute chart, price was bullish, we was above the SMAs. Based on my 15, bullish above the SMAs, 1 hour bullish above the SMAs. So theoretically I should only ever be looking for longs. It wouldn't make sense for me to even try possibly entertain shorts. It just wouldn't make sense. But when we just go back to this, clearly price was in the continuation phase. SMAs were both bullish, market structure was bullish. We tapped our unmitigated zone. You could say, yeah, unmitigated zone, high time frame zone. Obviously this was my 5-minute. We had SBS, we had a wick fractal, which was over here, which gave us the first move up. So this gave us the first push up, this wick fractal here, and then you would have been able to catch that trade going up here. However, this low was not enough to take out this high or even this high, which meant that this was a weak low. We came back for further mitigation, and then it looks like price swept. Actually, wait, let me double check something. Okay, so this time now price came back to at least mitigate 50%. So now you already knew that price was cheap enough to potentially even entertain this trade. So yeah, so price came back down, mitigated, swept some more people's stops, filled some imbalances, and then it looks like price wanted to shoot back right above. Obviously, it was an area of discount. You could even say we had an area of support and resistance. You could even say that price broke the trend line like this. Support and resistance would have been like this here. So there are many different variables that you could have used to give you the extra confidence that price actually wants to head higher. We even had a failure swing, so this is probably not the best one. We even had a failure swing over here, and if I check RSI, let's see, we even had RSI. It's not, if I'm going to be honest, it's not the best one, but you even had RSI if you want to include that there. So can you see how when you stack up the confluences, things are always going to be with you and not against. So when I go back to my checklist, pretty much everything here was ticked off. You know, we had everything within here, and the entry confirmation would have been the 618 limit or the S&D flip. If you guys were live, some of you would have had a better understanding on how that works. But honestly, guys, today was a good day. I couldn't see any issue why this would not be an A-star setup. And even before we even just try to whoa, my bad, sorry for the English, brain fog. Yeah, sorry. So even though we had the bigger SBS, we still wanted extra confirmation, and we had that with the SBS combo. So, you know, we had the SBS combo, and then look what happened. Price shoots right back above. So honestly, guys, I'll say that this was an A-star setup again. It doesn't look like one because you'd think you could have, I don't know, 100R, but price came as close as a 3.6R, and who wouldn't be happy with that? We've now already taken out this high, so there's always a chance that price might want to internal high, so there's always a chance that price might want to retrace a little bit and then expand. But we will still do the same things where we understand that this could potentially be my new SBS. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We understand that this could potentially be the new SBS coming, and we are going to do the same thing. Wait for a sweep, wait for price to tap into our area of interest, wait for SBS, wait for all of these little things, and then we get into the trade. But honestly, guys, I can't fault the setup. If anyone did take this trade, or you was potentially looking for longs but you didn't know how to get in, then this would be the video for you. But honestly, guys, today was a good trade, innit? I can't even cap. But always remember, guys, victory belongs to the most tenacious, and I will see you guys whenever I see you guys. Peace.